Chairs No Waiting, episode number 689, Moonrunners. Two Chairs No Waiting is brought to you each week by the fine folks over at weaversdepartmentstore.com. Drop by over at Weavers and you can get the shirt I'm wearing tonight. It's Floyd. I'm going to Nashville t-shirt. It's a great shirt. You got to get that. And hey, I'm a little partial. So if you don't like that one, maybe you could try Floyd's Barbershop Ringer t-shirt. Or you could try the Floyd's Mayberry Barbershop t-shirt. Lots of Floyd stuff, lots of other things for you to check out over at weaversdepartmentstore.com. Two Chairs No Waiting is also brought to you with donations from listeners just like you. The executive producer of episode number 689 is our Rainey and Jennifer Vincent. I said Danny last week, I think, so I got to get them credit again. It's Rainey and Jennifer. So thank you very much for being an executive producer. And our high sheriff, this is his last week as high sheriff of Two Chairs No Waiting. But I want to thank him. It's Chris Schmerl. So Chris, thank you so much for all that you do to help support the podcast. Thank all of you for that. It's just so good to have folks helping me out with the podcast. And who am I, by the way? You may be new to the podcast. I'm Alan Newsom. And I'm the host of Two Chairs No Waiting. I run Mayberry.com. I perform as Floyd the Barber in places. I was in the Mayberry Man movie that if you're watching the video version, you can see it right over my shoulder as Floyd and Alan. I played a character named Alan, who was a Floyd the Barber tribute artist. It was a real stretch, but that's what I did. Anyway, I love the Andy Griffith Show, and that's what I'm always here to try to share with you. And this evening, the podcast I said is going to be called Moonrunners. Now this is a tangential connection to Mayberry. Okay. So this is, I got an email feedback the other day from Michael, and I wanted to share this with you guys. So let me tell you what he told me. He said, I just wanted to say, I love Two Chairs No Waiting podcast. You know, I had to tell that part. That's my favorite. I would read that again. I love Two Chairs No Waiting podcast. And I join every week on YouTube. So thanks for being there, Michael. He subscribed and he gives it a like every week, just like a good listener or viewer should. So thank you very much. So SpiritWalker's Esquire Club trivia, it was tough. So he's been playing the trivia along with us. I found something I didn't know when I was going back over the answers. I didn't come from the first 10 episodes, but I thought it was interesting. I don't know if you've already covered this or not. Okay. So on season number 1, episode number 10, a feud is a feud. Okay. Y'all remember that one, right? So a feud is a feud. The actor, his name is Arthur Honeycutt. So Arthur Honeycutt was the actor. And he played Mr. Wakefield in that episode. So Jedediah Wakefield. And Honeycutt would go on to play Uncle Jesse in a 1973, 1975. I've looked that up, but it was 73 to 75. It's got different dates depending on where you're looking at. A movie called Moonrunners by Guy Waldron. I'd never heard this. Moonrunners. I'd never heard of this movie before. All right. So 4 years after that, after it came out, Guy Waldron would rework the movie into a summer replacement series called The Dukes of Hazzard. I never knew this. I didn't realize The Dukes of Hazzard was a spinoff. I also didn't realize that Mr. Wakefield played Uncle Jesse, who was later played in Dukes of Hazzard by Denver Pyle. So we had Denver Pyle as Uncle Jesse as well as him. So I'd never heard of this before. So I went and did some research, and I found that the movie was called Moonrunners, and it was it was back in 1973, 1975, somewhere in that time frame where it came out. But you can't find it. I couldn't, but there's places on YouTube you can do it. The boys on there, it was just amazing to me as I started looking into this. The boys, there was Uncle Jesse. Now his name wasn't Jesse Duke. That wasn't their names. But it was Uncle Jesse, and he had two boys there, and they were running things. Now, of course, now Uncle Jesse, we all know, was Briscoe Darling, right? It was that's who actually played him. In my mind, obviously, is Denver Pyle playing Uncle Jesse. But this is really cool because you got Mr. Wakefield playing Uncle Jesse in Moonrunners, and you got, of course, Denver Pyle playing Uncle Jesse in Dukes of Hazzard. Now, another interesting thing that I found out was the characters' names were slightly different, except for, excuse me, Uncle Jesse. His last name was different, but the sheriff on Moonrunners' name was Roscoe Coltrane, which also a Mayberry connection was, of course, James Best, the guitar player from the Andy Griffith Show. I just thought this was really cool connections I had no idea about. So in this movie, previously, the character's last name was, I guess, Haig, Hagg, Haig, not quite sure, but those were the cousins. It was Bobby Lee Haig and Grady Haig, or Hag, I'm not sure, one of the two, that were the kids. Now, Arthur Honeycutt played Uncle Jesse Haig, or Hag, Haig. I'm going to say it's Haig. And anyway, so this show was actually then later reworked and became the Dukes of Hazzard. So there you go. And then there's several Mayberry connections in there. Something you might want to look up, Moonrunners on YouTube and stuff. And you can check out at least the trailer. Oh, I should mention, in case you watched Dukes of Hazzard, if you'll remember, there was a narrator, Waylon Jennings. He narrates that movie too. It's like, I never even heard of this before, so I thought it was interesting. Again, sorry, this is not Mayberry directly, but I thought it was a very interesting letter, and I want to thank Michael for calling in or writing in to tell me about this. I thought it was kind of fun. So let's get back to Mayberry. Okay, I've kind of had a little run that was Mayberry connection. I feel like I'm kind of doing SpiritWalker's stuff here, kind of showing you a Mayberry connection, getting back to Mayberry from Moonrunners to Dukes of Hazzard to Mayberry. But my skill at doing that is not quite as good as his. So we're going to hear from him in just a little while, but we're going to hear from him really before that, because we're going to do some trivia, right? So we're going to do the trivia from season 1 that we've been working on the last few weeks. You know, we've been doing trivia for this stuff. So let's get a little background music for our trivia. There it is, background music, and let's get into some trivia questions. Are y'all ready for this? Now, these are, again, from the Esquire Club, the Andy Griffith Show Esquire Club over on Facebook. So it's TAGS Esquire Club group. That's the group over on Facebook. And now these are all questions from season number 1, and it's from episodes number 22 through 32. So we're wrapping it up here. We're wrapping up season 1. All right, are we ready? All right, question number 1. This is from episode number 22, Cyrano Andy. The question is, in her very first episode, what is Thelma Lou's first spoken sentence? Oh my goodness, this sounds hard. In her very first episode, which was Cyrano Andy, what is Thelma Lou's first spoken sentence? Oh, now chat room. So on Monday nights, when we're doing the podcast live, we record live on Monday nights at 8 o'clock Eastern time. The folks in the chat room try to answer these questions live. And so I'm kind of looking to see if anybody's guessing. So far, no guesses for this. One last read, and then we'll jump over to the actual answer. In her very first episode, what is Thelma Lou's first spoken sentence? And it is not beware, no hunt, beware, open, close, no credit. That's not correct. I'm pretty sure that wasn't her. So the answer is, I love to sing alongside Barney. That was her very first sentence of Thelma Lou spoken on the Andy Griffith Show. Isn't that pretty cool? That is a pretty cool question. And now we should know the answer. So good job. Good job, SpiritWalker, making us feel like we don't know anything. No, Trivia all makes me feel that way. All right, next question. Here we go. Number 23, Andy and Opie Housekeepers. All right, so let's get psyched up for this one. What is seen for the first time in Andy's kitchen? All right, what is seen for the very first time in Andy's kitchen in Andy and Opie Housekeepers? Wow. I don't know. I should have read these. I think I have a guess. I'm going to see if I got it right. All right. So what is first seen in Andy's kitchen in the episode Andy and Opie Housekeepers? All right. So the answer is a telephone. A telephone. Folks in the chat room got it right. Good job. It was the telephone by the door. By the door. I think we had a trivia question earlier about this from season 1 and where that came up. So the telephone by the door was first seen on this episode. All right, good job. Some folks in the chat room got it. They got it right. I think he did. Yeah. All right, so here we go. Next question on episode number 24. Number 24, the new doctor. What is Barney not wearing as he patrols the streets in his uniform? The new doctor. What is Barney not wearing as he patrols the streets in his uniform? I'm not sure what that is. All right. So, all right. What is Barney not wearing as he patrols the streets in his uniform? The answer is, he's not wearing his gun. He wasn't wearing his gun. Wow. Sam Jones with the answer in the chat room. Sam Jones, good job. So Barney is seen walking on the streets and he doesn't have his gun. He's dressed in his full uniform, but no gun. Wow, great job. And if you watch the video version of these episodes, you actually see photos that are provided along with the answer so that you can see it's right. All right, next question, number 25, a plaque for Mayberry. What is Andy wearing with his uniform for the first time? Oh, I know this one. I got this one. What is Andy wearing with his uniform for the first time? I think I got it. Okay. So this is a plaque for Mayberry. What is Andy wearing with his uniform for the first time? I think folks in the chat room are getting this right too. His tie. Yes, I got one. Yes. All right. All right. So he was wearing his tie. So that's pretty cool. Pretty cool. All right. Next answer. Next question. Number 26. This is episode number 26, The Inspector. Whose mailbox is also seen outside Luke Rainier's property? Whose mailbox is also seen outside Luke Rainier's property in The Inspector? I want to report a birthday cake, a tie. All right. Whose mailbox is also seen outside of Luke Rainier's property? Am I saying Rainier? Is that correct? Rainers. However you say his name. Luke's property. All right. The answer is the Wakefields. Oh my goodness. So you can actually see the Wakefields mailbox, and you know it's theirs because it's a barrel. It's like a barrel or an empty can or something that's just got an opening in it. Great job by SpiritWalker catching that. I did not catch that. That is absolutely amazing. So yes, great job. Good question. So again, if you want to see the confirmation on these, you can look at the pictures. I see it. He's showing us right here. All right, next question. This is from episode number 27. Ellie saves a female. That's the episode. All right. What animal apparently chewed through the rope and escaped at Farmer Flint's gate? All right. What animal apparently chewed through the rope and escaped at Farmer Flint's gate? It wasn't Jimmy. I know that, so I don't think it was Jimmy. What animal apparently chewed through the rope and escaped Farmer Flint's gate at Farmer Flint's gate? All right. So the answer is it was a goat. It was a goat, but it wasn't Jimmy. It wasn't Jimmy. It was a goat. Good job. People in the chat room were getting that right. Good job. A goat. It was a goat that escaped. All right. Next answer or question in episode number 28, Andy Forecloses. Okay, it's that episode. What one item from Walker's drugstore was seen at the rummage sale? What one item from Walker's drugstore was seen at the rummage sale? Oh my goodness, these are hard. You definitely need to watch the video so you can see the answers because these are really cool when you see them. All right, what one item from Walker's drugstore was seen at the rummage sale? I don't know, the cash register. I'm going to say cash register. What's the answer? Yes, it was. All right, it was the cash register because they were using a cash register. I remembered that. And there, yes, it was the cash register from Walker's drugstore. Looks a lot like the one that was at Wally's too. Wally's that got rigged up so that it would shock them if they tried to open it. The cash register. All right. Next one. Episode number 29, Quiet Sam. Besides delivering a baby, what does Andy do for the first time on the show? Okay, so I know this one. I remember this one. I saw the picture on this one. Besides delivering a baby, what does Andy do for the first time on the show? Okay, the answer is, besides delivering a baby, what does Andy do for the first time on the show? This is an episode Quiet Sam. He smokes a cigarette. He smokes a cigarette for the first time on the show. We see him smoking a cigarette out on the porch. Okay, all right. All right, next question is from episode number 30, Barney Gets His Man. The question is, the badge on the squad car has 5 points. The badge on Andy's uniform has 6 points. How many points do the state patrol badges have? Oh my goodness. All right, so the badge on the squad car, it has 5 points. Okay. The badge on Andy's uniform, it has 6 points. How many points do the state patrol badges have? Okay. All right. So I'm not going to read that one again because that's long. So I'll just say, how many points do the state patrol badges have? The answer is they have 7 pointed stars. All right. So yeah, the state patrol that come and pick him up, they have a badge on and you can see it's got 7 points. So good job. Good job for anybody that got that. Nobody in our chat room guessed 7. So we'll go on from there. So I don't know how you're doing. These are hard, but good job. SpiritWalker's making us think. They're kind of fun. All right. Next question. I think, yeah, we've got a couple of more. So here we go. Number 31, the guitar player. Episode number 31, the guitar player. What appears outside of Walker's drugstore for the first time? Oh my goodness. This is in the episode The Guitar Player. What appears outside of Walker's drugstore for the first time? If y'all get this, I just can't believe you got this one. What appears outside of Walker's drugstore for the first time in episode The Guitar Player Returns? Is that throwing you off? It's The Guitar Player Returns. What appears outside of Walker's drugstore for the first time? It was a telephone pole. Telephone pole. If anybody got that, give yourself a hand because that is impressive. So outside of the drugstore, there's a telephone pole. If you came out of the drugstore and turned to your right and began to walk down the sidewalk, there's a telephone pole there. That's probably the one that the guys couldn't get out of. You remember that? Or Barney couldn't get out of his car. All right, so now, here we go. Last question. This is episode number 32, bringing up Opie. All right, so remember this. Okay, how many apples did Opie eat before he gave up on his last one? Oh my goodness. Remember, he ran away, or didn't run away. He just went off and was playing outside and doing stuff because he couldn't go to the courthouse. He went and sat down. He started eating apples and stuff. How many apples did Opie eat before he gave up on his last one? He almost got sick. All right. So folks in the chat room are putting out answers. Let's see what the answer is. The answer is 7. He ate 7 apples before he gave up on his last one. You can see all the apple cores laying on the ground. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There they are. I can see them. And wow, what a great job by SpiritWalker coming up with all these questions and answers. So I just want to thank him for that. And what a great job he's done on all these trivia questions. Hope you guys have enjoyed them and had fun at least playing along. Whether you got them right or not, they're really making you think. And if you're watching the video version of the podcast, you can see the screenshots proving the question to be correct, the answer to be correct. All right. So now we're going to head to SpiritWalker to see Returning to Mayberry with another one of his Mayberry chains. So take it away, SpiritWalker.
Won't you turn on the Andy Griffith Show? Forget all your cares and woes. Sit back, relax, and laugh with friendly folks you know. Take up your fishing pole.
Welcome to Returning to Mayberry with special correspondent SpiritWalker from the Andy Griffith Show Esquire Club.
Thanks, Randy, and hello, Mayberry Spirit Watchers. Welcome to the Esquire Club and another edition of Returning to Mayberry. Now, we are in the process of using the Everything Returns to Mayberry theory and connecting all of the episodes in Season 1 from actor to actor. So taking an actor or actress from Episode 1, connecting them to someone from Episode 2, connecting them to someone from Episode 3, and continuing the chain through all 32 episodes. And then once we get to Episode 32, we're going to then connect an actor from that episode back to Episode 1. In effect, forming a Mayberry necklace. Let's take a look at our chain so far. In the last episode, we left off with actor Robert Easton, who played Pete Johnson in Episode 5, so let's start from him. In 1965, Easton appeared as Newsman Lacey in an episode of Lost in Space entitled Return from Outer Space. Also in that episode were TAGS alums Rita Shaw and Donald Losby, who appeared as Opie's two-gun toting friend Steve. He's the one who came up with the idea of pushing Andy's squad car in front of the fire hydrant in Season 1, Episode 6. Also in Episode 6, Runaway Kid, appearing as Opie's other cowboy friend in the opening scene was Dennis Holmes. In 1958, Holmes appeared as a child named Joey on an episode of Father Knows Best entitled Margaret Wins a Car. Now, if you don't know where I'm going from there, you haven't seen classic TV for a while. Of course, also appearing in that episode was Betty Anderson, played by Eleanor Donahue. And we all know that Donahue appeared as Ellie Walker, Andy's first love interest on TAGS in Season 1, Episode 7. Also in Episode 7, Andy the Matchmaker, appearing as Barney's first love interest, was Miss Rosemary, played by Amzie Strickland. In 1963, Strickland appeared as Mrs. West in an episode of Wagon Train entitled The Barnaby West Story. Also in that episode, playing Barnaby West Sr., was Stuart Irwin, who appeared as Tom Silby in Season 1, Episode 8. Also in Episode 8, Opie's Charity, appearing as Tom's wife, Annabelle Silby, was actress Lorene Tuttle. In 1974, Tuttle appeared as Mrs. Lee in the TV movie Mrs. Sundance, starring Elizabeth Montgomery in the title role. Also in that movie were TAGS alums Alvy Moore and Arthur Honeycutt, who appeared as Jedediah Wakefield in Season 1, Episode 9. Also in Episode 9, A Feud is a Feud, appearing as Jedediah's son, Josh Wakefield, was Claude Johnson. In 1968, Johnson appeared as Officer Brinkman in an episode of Adam 12 entitled Log 61, The Runaway. Also in that episode, playing Mrs. Ross, was Dorothy Newman, who appeared as Otis's wife, Rita Campbell, in Season 1, Episode 10. So there we have the second part of our Mayberry chain, from Robert Easton in Episode 5 to Donald Losby in Episode 6, from Dennis Holmes in Episode 6 to Eleanor Donahue in Episode 7, from Amzie Strickland in Episode 7 to Stuart Irwin in Episode 8, from Lorene Tuttle in Episode 8 to Arthur Honeycutt in Episode 9, and from Claude Johnson in Episode 9 to Dorothy Newman in Episode 10. We'll continue from Episode 10 in our next installment of Returning to Mayberry in our attempt to connect all 32 episodes of Season 1 together from actor to actor. And if you have your own special connection you'd like me to work on for a future episode, I would appreciate it if you drop me a line at the Andy Griffith Show Esquire Club on Facebook, and I will be glad to try to entertain your suggestions. I already have a few I'm working on, and I'm looking forward to it. So until next time, thanks for being here. I appreciate it. And keep spreading that Mayberry spirit. I thank you.
It's so fun to spend some time.
All right. Thank you very much, SpiritWalker. That is awesome. And if you want to make sure you see everything he's doing, head over to facebook.com/groups and TAGS Esquire Club. And you'll be able to join in on all the fun he's doing online. So, man, we got Randy, we got him, and wow, we have more Mayberry connection. So in the chat room, we have Miss Ellie's boy, Peter, is in there, and he mentioned that Eleanor Donahue was actually on an episode of the Dukes of Hazzard as well. So there we got Miss Ellie. Now she was on the episode, and it was called Sound of Music Hazard Style. And Mickey Gilley was evidently on that episode too. And she played the character of Marjorie Dane. It was in 1982. So there's another connection with the Dukes of Hazzard. Now, as far as I know, she wasn't in the Moonrunners movie. But wow, there's another connection. And as you notice, some of the people that we were actually talking about today showed up in SpiritWalker's chain as well. Wow. This is it's all connected to Mayberry. It all is connected. So, folks, I hope you have enjoyed this. The connections we were able to put together, the trivia that SpiritWalker put together for us, and his chain, of course, as we just continue to enjoy. I don't know, just having fun with Mayberry, guys. It's a lot of fun. Hey, we got a lot of stuff coming up this summer. In June 25th, we're going to be down in Tuscaloosa, Alabama for a screening of the Mayberry Man movie. That'll be the kickoff for fundraising from crowdfunding for the Mayberry Man series. So we'd love to have you there. The best part, well, you get to see the movie with a bunch of us that were in the movie. We'll be there answering some questions and stuff down in Tuscaloosa at the Bama Theater on June the 25th. And you also, the tickets, the sales of the tickets for the movie are all going to help Eagles Wings of Tuscaloosa, which is, they assist and help people, adults with special needs. So it's a great organization, great charity, something fun to do. So you'll be able to go to the movie and have some fun. So definitely want to encourage you to do that. We got the Mayberry meetup coming up in July. There's links in the show notes that tell you how to get to it and how to sign up. And then, there's just all kinds of things happening. Check out the event calendar at imayberry.com. You go there and then click on event calendar, and it'll take you, and you can find out all the stuff that's going on. I kind of went through some of that last week, but I just don't want you to miss out. There's so much fun with the Mayberry things going on, and I hope you hope you'll think about going. All right, folks. Hey, it is always great to spend time here in Mayberry with you. I would love to hear from you. And I want to thank once again the contribution from Michael today. Thank you so much for writing that in. And I'd love to hear from you. You can call me at 888-684-8415 and leave a comment where we can hear your voice. Or you can do like Michael did, and you can email me at floyd@imayberry.com. And I would love to hear from you. However you'd like to talk to me, I'll do my best to get to you. I got several things in the pipeline. People have called or written in. So we'll be hearing from them soon. And I want to thank you again for being here, and we'll see you next time right here on Two Chairs.